Okay everybody, so today we're going to be doing a video on the French MAS-36 or MLE 1936. This rifle was basically designed as a backup rifle of sorts. It was made with the intention that France would have semi-auto rifles by the time any war were to start. But they wanted these rifles as simple reserve rifles, so you can have poorly trained conscripts having something to fight with besides Lebels and Berthiers. And this rifle is chambered in 7.5 by 54 French. Feeds with 5-round stripper clips. The ammo we're going to be shooting today is Privy Partisan 139 grain full metal jacket. So these rifles started to go into development in the 1930s, and France wanted all of the features they thought were useful on a bolt action. They wanted to have the best bolt action they could. And one of the things with the MAS-36 is it's made to be simple for poorly trained conscripts, so all the screws are screws that only a field armor would be able to take off. You can't take off any of the screws with a simple screwdriver except the ones in the butt plate, the ones to take off your stock fittings. Basically, they just didn't want soldiers taking off their screws and disassembling their rifles and losing pieces. And this one we have here is actually made in 1949, so it's post-war. And they had a built-in bayonet to these, a cruciform spike bayonet. Would go in, and it would always be with you. And one of the interesting features on this one that was added post-war is they've got a hole in your bayonet retention. That way, if two idiot soldiers manage to stick their rifles together, because you could do that, you just take out the bayonet from another one and stick it on, that you could actually take a punch and press it and take apart your rifles. Because two soldiers actually did that, and they had to get out some kind of a grinder and cut off the bayonet. And it has a little stacking rod right here, so you can get your rifles into a rifle TP. On the early ones, they have a full front sight cover. On the later MAS-36/51s, they'll have just 2 front sight wings. And these rifles are cock-on close. They have a Mauser follower hold open. And the sights right here are rear aperture, adjustable up to 1,200 meters. Your base zero is going to be 200. And these are really nice, effective, simple rifles, really. And it's actually a bit interesting, the method that it uses. It has rear locking lugs instead of front locking lugs like a Mauser would. So basically, it locks in at the back, whereas the Mauser would lock up at the front. And the magazine right here comes out just like that. It's a Mauser style magazine. This basically takes a good amount of features from the Mauser rifles and puts it on it, but changes it up in a few French ways. But yeah, these rifles served in World War II, and they were initially produced starting in 1939, really, was when the production got up and running. And then they were produced until June of 1940, which then they got overrun by the Germans and surrendered. Then production was shut down until after France was liberated, which it popped up basically immediately after the factories were liberated. They started producing them again. And these rifles served afterwards until they developed the MAS-36/51, which we've also got a video on. And once they started producing those, they phased these out. And in total, there would be about 1.1 million of these made. You can find them around today. They're fairly nice rifles. They have gotten up in price because they're getting more desirable. You have to get lucky to find one for a good price now. But yeah, that's going to be it. That's going to be all we have to say about it, so let's get into shooting it some. Alright, we're going to start off with 5 rounds under 100 yards. Got a bit of a snag in our stripper clip, but that's all of them. Alright, this is our first group. We got 2 right here and then the other 3 right here. Fortunately, it is raining, so our target's wet, and our target stand collapsed. Alright, we're going to load up another clip. This clip we grabbed is actually a slight bit rough on this side, so that's why it was struggling to feed earlier. Got a slight issue there, but that's all of them. Alright, this is our next group. We got 4 right here fairly close and 1 right here. That's a pretty good group. It's fairly accurate so far. Alright, we're going to load up another clip. That one loaded smoothly. That's all of them. Okay, this is our next group. These three were pretty good, but my glasses fogged up, so these two weren't necessarily on the plate. Alright, we're going to fire a couple more rounds. I'm here at 100 yards. That's two of them. We're clear now. Well, that did the trick. Alright, that's going to be it for the video. We had a lot of fun with the French MAS-36. These are quite nice rifles. This one's a very nice example. It still has cosmoline on it. Basically brand new for the most part. The wood on this one looks like the tree was just cut down yesterday. But we have a lot of fun with this. If you want to see some more out of the French MAS-36, let us know in the comments. And yeah, these are pretty fun rifles, fairly accurate. The one downside is you can't adjust your sights, but other than that, they're pretty nice rifles. And I will say something I forgot to say in the intro, is that these rifles were all counterbored. That was made so basically soldiers couldn't smack their rifles against a brick wall or something and damage the crown. Yeah, so that's why if you'll see one of these out just at a gun store or gun show, you won't see any rifling straight away. That's not it being rusted out or rebarreled or anything. That's how they were made from the factory. But yeah, that's going to be it for the video. Catch y'all in the next one.